important to have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my god.
Yo! Who is this degen?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about impermanent loss.
But really, at the end of the day, it's just the matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom, so we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crypto degenerates, ducks and squirrels, I am just now realizing that I'm missing some very crucial parts for streaming. But welcome to this fantastic Degen Roundtable Sunday episode. My name is Will Stevenson. I'm going to be hosting you guys for tonight's campfire stories, crypto news readings, and other things of that nature. Real quick, because I realized that my microphone was not plugged in before we started going live. Can I get some ones in the chat if you guys can hear me well? I have no one to let me know if my sound is working or if I'm even on the right audio. So if you guys can hear me, if you could please put some ones in the chat, because I have no idea just how live we are right now, or if there's any crazy cool awesome things. All right, I'm starting to see Mr. Frank White, Mr. Rhino, Mr. Wonderwolf. Awesome, sweet. So we got ones. We're good. We're golden. We're excellent. Sweet. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Well, welcome to this fantastic show. For those of you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Will Stevenson. I'm an iron worker that travels around the states building TV and radio towers. And in my free time, I like to talk cryptocurrency to filthy degenerates and awesome folks such as yourselves. And I also have to find my chat shoutouts binder thing, which I'm pretty sure I lost at some point. So that's freaking fantastic. Oh, well. Oh, no. It's over here. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. But anyways, we're going to be going through some campfire stories tonight, doing the normal Degen Roundtable. Oh, shit. I've been joined by someone. Hang on. Ladies and gentlemen.
I can't hear you, buddy.
I
think your sound's out. There you go.
There we go. I wonder how long I was talking all muted. Sorry, guys. This is kind of a last minute little throw together operation. Brendan, thank you for joining me, amigo. How are you doing tonight? Good, sir.
I'm good, man. Flying by the seat of our pants as always.
Oh yeah. We're flying by the seat of our pants. I had just finished setting up my computer and getting everything plugged in. I didn't even have time to shave my head today, so I'm looking like a bedraggled degenerate. But bro, we're gonna handle it. We're gonna have a good time. I see you put some fantastic articles in the Telegram and things. We will go over those and do some fantastic stuff with that later. I just have the normal crypto news thing pulled up on the side. We can skip that entirely because I like what you've been doing in the chat, especially. By the way, speaking of things that we like, I like what Richard Hart has been doing recently too. He's been a lot more active on Twitter, doing a lot of posting everything. But bro, what's new and exciting with you? How are you doing? What's up?
I'm doing good, man. You look like you were trained by RG3.
Yes.
Got a little RG3 look going on right now.
Yep. These I've been wearing these for years. This is like what I wear underneath my helmet when I'm climbing towers and things to avoid getting sweat all over everything. So I like wearing the bandanas, and these Dia de los Muertos ones that they sell at Walmart they've suited my style for a long time. So yeah, RG3 and I we're both trained in the piracy ways. So
I'm excited though. I mean, look, market's very interesting things going on, and I think what we're going to be going over tonight is going to be really interesting for people that are interested in Ethereum doing well, are interested in chains that will likely do well if Ethereum does well, like Pulse Chain. Mm-hmm. And like you said, Richard Hart's been really active. And obviously, I think that is good. That is very good. He gave a nice shout out to Piteous today, which we'll go through that tweet, because I also want to ask you and the people out there, a couple questions in regards to Dex aggregators and what we need, like what more features do we need. I have a couple thoughts on that myself. So we'll get to that. Other than that, man, doing well. I was I don't really go out and stay out super late usually, but last night, so yesterday during the day we went out for a friend's birthday. Then at night we went out to a soccer match, and then after that we went to this dive bar that is about 15 minutes from our house that does karaoke on Saturdays. And we were there till like 4 a.m. Well, I think a little after 3 a.m. because karaoke goes from 10 to 3. So once karaoke stopped, we kind of bounced out of there a little bit. But man, the place was wild. And they were like so much fun. But yeah, so I was definitely a bit tired today.
Hell yeah, broski. I feel you, man. I went to one of the world's biggest what do you call it, like flea market things over in Canton, Texas, both like yesterday and this morning. And dude, it's been freaking awesome. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the Canton First Mondays, but if you're ever in Texas and you're around the Canton area, I highly, highly, highly recommend that people go visit it. So I feel you, broski, with the lack of sleep and the great, awesome things, but that's cool, man. I didn't know that. I think you've spoken about doing karaoke before, but I've never quite pictured you in the karaoke world. Did we do that at all? While I was down there in Miami with you, me, and Josh and Anton.
No, I don't think we did any karaoke.
Oh, okay, that would have been.
But
fun.
I do love me some karaoke.
Hell yeah, dude. I like it. Let's find out what the folks at home love. We're just gonna see who's been joining us tonight. It's time, ladies and germs, for chat motherfucking shoutouts, the part of the show where we let you guys know that we love you just as much as you guys let us know. And thank you, by the way, for everyone interacting, putting the ones in the chat, letting me know that you guys can hear me. I was hooking up my headset while we were hitting the live thing. So we are joined tonight by Miss Amber Simon. Miss Amber Simon says hello. Hello to you too, Miss Amber Simon. Glad that we could have you with us tonight. And then I'm here to remind everyone to say like that smash button. So make sure that you smash that like button, like that smash button, do all that good stuff. We're also joined by Mr. Frank White, Bang Bang Pulse Gang. Shout out to you, Frank White, and everything going on over there at the Function Island Decks. Y'all are pretty awesome. And then we've got some responses from the folks at home, Mr. Simon Wonderwolf, Mr. Reno, Miss Amber Simon, Frank White, and we've also been joined by Mr. Pulse Jitsu with Fast Abdul, who is apparently here for the tech. How's it going, Mr. Fast Abdul? Glad that we could have you with us tonight. Remember, everybody, that the thing that's most important to do in the crypto space is to do the chat shoutouts. If you don't do the chat shoutouts, then you end up dying, and we can't be having that. So there you guys go. That is the secret to staying alive in the crypto space, is making friends and acknowledging your friendships and doing all that stuff. So there's the clickbaity title, and that's what gets everyone in here. Oh, and we've also been joined by my good friend Josh, Mr. Slide 180. Cheers to you, broski. I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow evening. I'm actually going out to lunch with Alan up here in Dallas, and then as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to boogie my way on down over to where you are. So that is the plan for tomorrow, Mr. Josh. So I will see you in the very near future, good sir. It's all about friendship. It's all about kindness. It's all about awesome stuff and moving forwards and onwards and upwards in life. And I think that's a pretty darn good transition into. Do you mind, Brendan, if we talk about some of the Richard Hart tweet stuff first before we?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I want to save that main article for the bulk of the show. So let's start with Richard Hart tweets. That's exactly what I was thinking as well. So
bazinga, excellent. All right, so I've got a screen share over here ready, and I've actually got Twitter on dark mode today. So let's see if I can share screen.
So someone's not going to yell at you.
Yeah, I'm not going to get yelled at this time. That'll be pretty cool. All right, so I'll maximize that, and then I'll do the controlity zoom. Ooh, there we go. How's that look? That looks pretty acceptable. All right, sweet. So we've got this first sort of kind of article over here. We've got Richard Hart from his Richard Hart Win Twitter. For those of you guys that don't know Richard Hart, I highly recommend going and following him and checking out the stuff that he does. But Brendan, you want to take us away?
I was just going to say this made me ultra bullish. I mean, I've been ultra bullish, still am, hasn't gone anywhere. But when I read things like this from Richard Hart, it really just reminds me how bullish I am on the ecosystem. Now, as we know, Amazon has been one of the best performing companies and stocks out there in the last 20 years, something to that extent. And he's talking about the early days when Amazon what were people thinking when it went from 113 to $6, right? People were probably freaking out. A lot of people probably sold at a loss, but those that held with conviction were paid off handsomely. I wonder if there's a parallel here that can be made between Amazon and Pulse Chain or Pulse X or Hex, all of those things that have gone down a lot. A lot of people have sold out at losses, but I think people that have conviction are going to be rewarded in a big way for having good, conviction, I guess.
Good fucking strong diamond hands and belief, baby.
Yep.
I want to give a shout out to Sami. He was talking a long time ago about how he did some research on who were the people that actually held Amazon when it basically dropped 90, I think it was like 95 or 96%. And there was only like a handful of people. It was Jeff Bezos, it was his wife, and it was his parents. So like that's basically it. Everyone else pretty much sold and got out and ran away from Amazon, if I remember correctly from what Sami was saying. So it's just like the people that were basically central to Amazon's success, you know, the creator and the people that believed in him were the only guys that held it all the way down to fucking $6. So and again, this is taking the word from Sami. So shout out to Sami. He makes some great, or he puts out some great information out there. But
yeah,
it's fucking nuts, man. Like I think this is a 95% drop from $113 down to $6. I want to say that's a 95% drop, or very close to it, which is just absurd in the traditional stock world. Like normally stocks don't come back from that. So for the folks that
true, and yeah, it's I think 95% down would be just around $6. So I think you nail it there. With some quick math. But you know, if you've been in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or lots of cryptocurrencies long enough, you've seen similar price moves and still gone on to see new all-time highs, changing the world with computer science breakthrough level technology takes a little while. Hang in there. So you know, that is talking to each and every one of you that are in the Pulse Chain and Hex communities. You know, continue to try to get people onboarded, continue to talk to people. You know, I had a conversation with someone at my church on Thursday. We were talking, he knows that I'm in crypto, and he's an entrepreneur himself. And he was asking me, you know, what cryptocurrencies do I like the most? And I told him about Pulse Chain, and you know, he has some crypto and he has some knowledge of the space, not super in depth, but he said, you know, why do you like Pulse Chain? You know, that was the question that he posed to me. And I first of all explained to him what it is. I said that it is a copy of Ethereum blockchain, so 1-to-1 copy with higher throughput, so it's faster. It's cheaper gas and allows you to copy protocols that are on Ethereum onto Pulse Chain. And so when Ethereum gets really congested or clogged, Pulse Chain can be a secondary route for people to want to use this type of chain. And I think we talked about it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, not too long, but he was very interested. And I said, you know, the hardest thing I think for a lot of people is that it takes an extra couple steps to buy. Now this week, the last few weeks, we've had a lot of new on-ramps available to Pulse Chain. And shout out to Hex Scout, shout out to a few of the others. There's actually right on pulsechain.com, pulsechain.com, I believe, also has a direct on-ramp now, which is also very cool. So I think the biggest barrier for a lot of people, but something that was really interesting that he said to me, and he says, so it's not on any of the exchanges. He says, so if those exchanges start to list Pulse Chain, it's probably going to blow up, huh? And I said, yes, my friend, that is exactly the case. And this is why I feel like I'm really early to the protocol, even though it hasn't done well due to some unforeseen circumstances like corrupt SEC case, corrupt Interpol charge, all that kind of stuff. But it's interesting because he's just a normie, mostly does traditional finance. But he was like, wow, that sounds really interesting. And I think that a lot of people if you talk to them, one-on-one about Pulse Chain and why you like it, or Hex or whatever else, I think a lot of people want to understand, and people like the idea of being early to something.
Mm-hmm. And I like the like not only the earliness, but also the principles. A lot of the things that Pulse Chain is founded on, it's like got some really solid principles: freedom of movement, freedom to transact, freedom of speech. Like that's 3 of the 4 categories of sovereignty, like right there. So that's
Yeah.
something that I think is super important as well.
You know,
Like not just the financial stuff, which is great. Like the finances is really like what we're all in it for. Like I don't know if I would be doing this stuff if there wasn't like an idea of green candles at some point at some time. But like a lot of the people in the core of the community during this last bear market session of the last 3 to 4 years, it's like we've all come together and um strengthened our core foundational like community agreeances around the stuff that's like, we want the world to be a better place. We want to be more sovereign. We want to live longer. We want to like empower people. And a lot of the other blockchains just aren't doing that. Like you don't see a whole lot of sovereignty and stuff happening on Bitcoin. You don't see a whole lot of like case in point, it's being bought up by like BlackRock. It's being bought up by traditional finance. It's like the governments are starting to get into it. And like once they control most of it, then there's a like then it's S curved out, so you're probably going to see some sort of green candle, some sort of version of that, but you're not going to get like those banger moves, and you're also not going to get as much like liberty mindedness, like the some of the stuff that Michael Saylor was talking about and that some of the folks over at the Bitcoin conference were talking about is just like antithetical to a lot of the stuff that Bitcoin originally founded on. They're like, yeah, you shouldn't be looking at what we're doing with our company over here at MicroStrategy. You guys should not be double checking like us and putting us under scrutiny. It's like, no, you're a publicly traded company, broski, and people should know what the hell you're doing. Like you're leveraging money to go buy Bitcoin to theoretically sell it back to people later at a profit. And it's like this, they're not the freedom fighters. They're not the what's the word? I can't remember the foreign word for freedom fighters. But the point is they're not like the libertarians, the anarchists, and the people that are all about principle and stuff. These are like finance guys. These are dudes that are like, okay, we're like the tail end of the adoption curve, and I just don't see Bitcoin going the same direction that it was originally going when it first started. And I do see Pulse Chain sort of kind of doing that. We are pretty centralized at the moment, as far as like price action goes, but as far as like the principles of the community and stuff, like once we get out of the perspective of having the origin address and all of that stuff similar to Satoshi's wallet with Bitcoin, once we get past all that, then it's like the community is very decentralization minded, and they are very like freedom and sovereignty minded, and I think that that's important too. So I'm kind of straying off topic from the original post, but I want to toss it back to you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I want to add one more thing to that, because there's one other conversation I had with my buddy, and something else that he really liked. I talk about obviously decentralization because that's really important. And also that I can actually run the program on my own computer, right? I don't have to. I can run the code on my own computer. I don't have to go through an intermediary. That makes it safer, makes it less chance for hacking, and less chance of clicking on something suspicious, or it reduces the third party risk. So being able to run that directly on my computer is fantastic. I love that. Can't do that with Ethereum. And look, every founder has a lot of coins, right, of that protocol. The question is, do they sell those coins, right? Are they dumping on your head, or are they doing something different? With Satoshi, maybe he's still alive. Maybe he comes back one day. It's like, you know what? I'm going to sell all that Bitcoin, and boom, tanks the price, right? So I don't think that's going to happen. But that's one of the nice things about Bitcoin, right? Because the founder isn't there selling his coins. The same thing thus far, past performance or past actions are no indication of future actions. But we know that the origin address for Hex has never sold any tokens. It's been 5 years. So the likelihood of that founder selling Hex or Pulse Chain or PulseX, in my opinion, is very low. and therefore it's a safer bet, in my opinion, than like Ethereum Foundation or Ripple, who we know consistently dump on the communities around them, continue to unlock, continue to dump. So yes, while there is a lot of coins associated with one central entity, I tend to trust that entity. That's why I'm in this. That's it. I'm in the protocol to begin with.
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of like, I definitely agree. Past performance is not an indicator of future action or however that quote goes. Man, I'm totally butchering it, but like I'm right there with you, dude. The Hex origin address has never sold Hex. They've the Pulse chain and PulseX and all those other origin addresses have never sold the tokens either. They've only ever bought. And so it's like we can probably inference that they just similar to the Satoshi wallet that they won't sell, and if they do sell, then hey, we'll have to eat a slice of humble pie and figure out what goes on with that. It'd be really interesting to see like the Satoshi wallet move like 369 Bitcoin or 5555 Bitcoin or something. That would be hilarious. One of the articles that I saw while I was cruising through all of the news stuff is there's like Bitcoiners that are starting to like warn people, be like, hey, with quantum computing on the semi near horizon, you might consider moving your Bitcoin to quantum proof wallets. And I got to think like, oh man, what if somebody like moseys their way on into the Satoshi wallet? Like, what if the SHA-256 gets quantum hacked or something? Like, I don't know how all of that stuff works or anything, but that was just like one of the little ideas that popped into my head as I was reading all that stuff. And it's like, the nice thing about Hex and Pulse Chain is that the founder is still interacting. The founder is still alive. He's not live in the same way that we would prefer him to be, but he's here to defend his products. He's here to defend the chain. And so far, he's only done things that are benevolent to that. So,
Or
I think
positive.
yeah. And that's similar to like Amazon.
Benevolent
like,
at the worst, positive at the best, right?
Yes, absolutely. And so I want to quickly read this tweet for those of you guys that are only listening and you can't see it. So what Richard Hart is talking about here in this original tweet that we pulled up is that Amazon went from $113 to $6. Then it went up and never looked back down there. Pulse Chain is better than Bitcoin with more features, more opportunity, better security, lower fees, higher throughput. PulseX is better than Uniswap with real buy and burn. Hex is amazing too with 5 years of flawless operation. What we have now is far better than it needs to be, and the only thing missing is for people to know about it. If you've been in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or lots of cryptocurrencies for long enough, you've seen similar price moves and still gone on to see new all-time high prices. Changing the world with computer science, breakthrough level technology takes a little while. So hang in there with a little smiley face. And then there's some fun comments here. So Richard Hart, I don't know why Jeff's numbers don't match the chart, but the chart looks pretty okay. And this is the picture of Amazon's chart, and it looks like it's on this is all the way from 1998. So it started at fucking a penny. Looks like the first wave went up to $6, went down to 3 cents, and then man, I don't know where it went from 113 down to 6. But anyways, that's the chart that Richard showed. So that's some of the tweet there. Is there anything else you wanted to cover on this, Brendan, before we hop on over to the next thing?
No, I think it's pretty good. It's just I loved that tweet when I saw it.
Yeah, that was a good tweet. I like that one a lot. Are you thinking about I noticed also that you put in the Block Explorer one for Pulse Chain. Do you want to touch on that real quick before we hop over to the main meat and potatoes with the Michael Saylor?
Sure. Yeah, let's hop on over there.
Okay, sweet. So, for those of you guys that are not aware, there's some new. So this is from Richard Hart again. Some new block explorers for Pulse Chain just appeared. Lightbeam.xyz and Midgard.wtf. What do you guys think? So I have not gone to these so far, but we can probably do it live. Let's see. So Lightbeam.xyz. So we'll do the old copy. And I'm going to do the paste, and I'm going to make sure that I don't dox myself.
Lightbeam, you really need dark mode. So I'm just going to throw that out there to begin with.
Okay, Lightbeam.xyz. Okay, so I am in dark mode, and it looks like it is not asking me to connect my wallet, so we're going to share this tab instead. All right, so here we are on Lightbeam.xyz. So this is pretty cool. This is actually really, really clean UI so far.
Mm-hmm.
It shows the most important stuff first, shows the price of Pulse Chain, market cap, liquidity, supply, holders, And then same thing for PulseX, Incentive, and Hex. And it allows you to add those tokens to your wallet by clicking on the little MetaMask thing right over there. So for those of you guys using MetaMask or Rabby wallet or any sort of wallet that interacts with the MetaMask buttons, then you can do that stuff. And then you can add more coins to this little chart thing. So that's pretty cool. You can create your own little portfolio. So,
and they did
and then
start
just-
an X. They do have an X. So it's at Lightbeam XYZ on X.
Oh, they do? Okay.
So feel free to go follow them. I know a few people have started. They just pretty new, but they have a couple hundred followers now. I think it's a good thing to follow, because I'm sure they're going to be adding more features. Right, this is just in the beta, so this is going to be added. But I think it's really cool. You know, like when Rabby and DBank stopped supporting Pulse Chain, we need more opportunities to be able to look through transactions and wallets. And, you know, Richard Hart saw that too. And it's pretty clear that is why he shared these two websites.
Yep. So this is the one you were talking about, right? It looks like
that's their official X. Yep.
Okay, there we go. So we got built to explore Pulse Chain. So wow, look, they're following 2 people. They got 332 followers now. Bam. So lightbeam.xyz, and that leads us directly over to this website. That's pretty damn cool, bro.
Yeah, I think it's honestly, I think it's really cool. I haven't spent a lot of time on it, but it also has a portfolio tracker in there as well. And it kind of builds right in, it integrates some other things. So you can look at the bridge. You got some bridge stuff there.
Ooh.
You got some.
The bridge holdings. It's counting some 1s and 0s.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So that's how much money's in the bridge. That's pretty nifty. Ethereum, DAI, Hex, USDC. Those are the core 4, it seems. That's pretty nifty.
It is. So I think it's well, you know, like I said, it's in beta. So we will see how it continues to go. But I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, very easy to use, like you said. Very sleek, you know, straightforward UI, and I like that.
Yeah, this is super slick. I like this a lot. Oh damn, look at that. And we've got the gas metrics. So right now it costs currently, you know, 400 pulse to stake some Hex, 500 pulse to bridge out, 1500 a swap. That's cool. Look at that. Selling.
Yeah, it has the beats price at the top of the page too. So
yeah, that's nifty. Oh yeah, look at that. 4 million beats.
Yeah.
So for those of you guys that don't know, looks like 1 billion beats is 1 pulse and 1 billion gwei is 1 ETH. So that's how you like calculate gas prices and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
This
so
is
beats is the Pulse Chain's version of gwei. Exactly. Will.
Yeah, this is pretty damn cool. So let's see. So we've got so everything is currently sorted by 24-hour volume, right? So we've had looking like $2.9 million of pulse been swapped, $2.9 million of wrapped pulse been swapped. So that's pretty cool. Some pretty thick liquidity. Wow, that is nifty. Oh my goodness, Tropa liquidity. That is super cool.
Yeah,
well, what a nifty.
I had sold a little bit of a small percentage of bags a little while ago, and I might be putting those back into the ecosystem on this pullback.
Yeah. This
Moonfield Rational Optics just had a couple questions. Ooh. Yeah, we're here tonight. I know we got the show up late and we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants, but we did prepare some content, and we're excited to bring it to you tonight. So thanks for joining in. And yeah, great day to DCA. Every day, in my opinion, is a great day to DCA.
Hell yeah, broski. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I think I can end this share screen. So we've covered the light beam.
Do you want to look at the other one that he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see. I need to go back to Richard Hart's tweet. Hang on, let me go back to this one. Light beam, Richard Hart. All right, so lightbeam.xyz and midgard.wtf.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. All right, so we'll do the old copy. We'll go to the URL, Control V. And again, I need to make sure that it doesn't dox me before I pull it up on stream. So just
you don't have to connect your wallet to it either.
Yeah, it doesn't look. Yep, doesn't look. All right, sweet. So share this tab instead. Midgard is under active development. We're now accepting donations. Close that. All right, I understand. It's buggy. Cool beans. Oh, this is also a pretty sleek UI too. I do like the other one. Ooh, those are some pretty graphics.
I like that the other one also matches sort of pulse chain, like the colors in the UI. It almost feels like it's connected, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. Like there's a like it was built for integration, very similar to some of the other ones that Richard's used in the past. Well, this is nifty. I don't know if you saw this, but AI powered, you can scan contracts for threats using AI scanners. So like if you guys I suppose if there's a new token that's arrived, you just copy the address and you throw it on in here. So that's interesting. Oh man, yeah, token address. And oh, there's 5 free uses. That's interesting. And then you can Pulse coin security scanner. Interesting. All right. Well, let's check this out. So let's see. So this shows the blocks that are stacking in Pulse chain. So that's pretty cool. We got looks like 10-second block time in between these two, and about 10 seconds in between those ones. So yeah, we got 10-second blocks on Pulse chain. That's pretty cool. And oh, that shows how like full the blocks are. So that's pretty neat.
How much gas was used?
Or how much gas is used. Yeah, yeah. So I suppose that's computational power, not block space. So that makes sense. 38 transactions in this block. That's pretty neat. That is pretty cool. So let's see. So this is home. Let's go over to tokens. Ooh. All right. So this one's not quite as sleek as the other one. It doesn't.
I
show
like
us
the other
much
one.
information.
To me, I've looked at both Lightbeam. I like the layout of Lightbeam a little bit better personally.
Yeah. It's a nice clean
Again,
UI.
I haven't used either of them significantly. I've been busy. I haven't been able to do a lot of wallet tracking. But generally speaking, yeah, I like the other one. It seems to have that same feel as Pulse Chain, same colors, all that kind of stuff, which I like.
The marketing is good. The branding is good. Yeah.
The tokens are easier. See, like this, how the tokens are there. Is it? I wish there was a list view because I actually like how it's listed on Lightbeam. How it was like just a straight list in order.
Yeah, yeah. This is still a pretty cool. Pretty cool. So
it's
if
cool.
you guys want to check a transaction hash or an address or something, like you just throw that bad mamba jamba up there, and yeah, that's pretty nifty. That's pretty nifty. Good find, Mr. Richard Hart. All right, sweet. So, any other thoughts before we hop on over to the next thing, Mr. Brendan? I'm thinking of doing
let's maybe pull up the Pitias tweet.
Okay, the Pitias tweet. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing that
because I want to ask people in regards, it's funny. Pitias has been, chatting Richard Hart for a while. I'll say whining. I'll call it whining. I said it. I told them that as well. I responded to their tweet when they were whining about Richard never, talking positive, like never mentioning them before. And I was like, look, the community is already, likes you, uses you, appreciates you. You don't need validation from Richard Hart. Like, stop whining. Is essentially what I said. And then the next day, Richard Hart comes out and nonetheless throws them a bone and talks nicely about them.
Are you able to send me the link or share screen it yourself? I do not see that one. I've got the new Block Explorers, the one about Michael Saylor. I can't find the Pitias one.
Yeah, I can share my screen.
Okay, sweet. All right. While you are doing that, I'm going to do some chat shiggity shout outs. So we've been joined by a couple people since we did the first round of chat shout outs. So time for chat shout outs, round number 2, ladies and germs. We've been joined by Mr. Trolling Moling, first and foremost. Shout out to you, Mr. Trolling Moling. Good to see you, broski. It's been a while since I've seen your name in the chats. I know who you are, who your alter ego is, but it's good to see you as this character. So that's always fun. Next up, we've been joined by Mr. Jonathan. Am I rich yet? Yes, you are rich. You're rich in time, in attention, in energy, in health, in friendship, in brand. Maybe not necessarily in money, but you've got plenty of cool things. You're here on the DGen Roundtable. We're all rich in friendship over here. So the answer is yes. Next up, we're joined by Mr. Funkmaster Hex. Ladies and
Ah!
gentlemen, good
Hey,
evening.
time out. Will, do you remember what I said on Wednesday?
On Wednesday?
I said, Funkmaster Hex, it would be cool if he put the drink right after his name.
He did it! Bro! Fucking
I
shout
love
out
it.
to you, Funkmaster Hex. Good
Love it.
sir. That's fucking toasty. Oh, I love
Because
that.
it's his calling sign, so it makes sense to
Yes.
me.
Yes. Oh, but when I see you, Funkmaster Hex, I'm gonna meet you at some point, broski, and I'm gonna buy you a fucking brandy or a whiskey or whatever that drink is. But
Same.
good for you. Good for you, broski. I fucking love it. Here's to Funkmaster Hex. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening with the glass raised. I don't have a drink with me right now.
I just got water tonight. It's last night I drank enough.
I have a water like sitting over on like the top of my bed over there, but I'm not going to run over there and get it. So shout out to you. Actually, I am going to go get that water, and I'm going to raise a glass of water to you too, Mr. Funkmaster Hex. So here's to you, amigo. Shout out to you. For those of you guys that don't know, Funkmaster Hex is the Trailer Park Boys Julian to the Hexico space. So he's always here to raise a glass and cheers. So cheers to you, good sir. And I will drink to you as soon as I'm done reading these chat shoutouts. We're also joined by my good real life friend, Mr. Moonmutt, who says, "Good evening, my DGen friends. Good evening to you too, Mr. Moonmutt. Glad that we could see you. Super awesome, cool cat. You guys should meet him in real life. I fucking love him." We're also joined by another real life friend of mine, Mr. Moonpilled Rational Optics. Hey, didn't think you guys were going to be on tonight. Good sir. It is a Sunday. And on Sundays, we stream at 8 Eastern. So nice try, Mr. Moonpilled Rational
in his
Optics.
defense, we didn't have a show up until like 2 minutes before 8. So
yeah. I checked the production room and I was like, oh no, there's nothing in here. I'd better fucking scramble and get something. So that's why we've got the clickbait title. We've got the chat shout out picture as our thumbnail, so it's like that's me slacking, ladies and germs. So shame on me. And yeah, we are going to be on tonight. So glad that you guys could make us. And I agree, Mr. Moonpilled Rational Optics. It is indeed a great day to DCA. And apparently he's also in it for the tech. Some are in it for the money. Some are in it for the tech. The Moon Gang is in it for glory. Yes, sir. We're all going to all going to glory, good sir. So that catches us up with the chat shoutouts. I see you have your article ready for Sharon. So I'll go ahead and add that to the stage and we'll hop right on into it. So background.
I'll read that real quick. So I told you that Piteous has multiple times. Again, I'll call it whining because it really is what it sounds like. Was whining to Richard that he never gives them throws a bone, never mentions them, even though they do great things for the ecosystem, which they do. Shout out to Piteous. I like it. I only use PulseX or Piteous, pretty much the only two things I use if I want to swap. I do like when things are routed through PulseX because of the burn, but when you're talking about, and Richard Hart says it right here, when you're talking about coins that are smaller, meme coins, things like that, it's really helpful to have a DEX aggregator to be able to make those transactions because it's going to get you the best price out there. Occasionally, if you trade coins that have deprived PulseX of buy and burn by putting their liquidity somewhere else, you can get better order execution using Piteous.io. They're an order aggregator that combines liquidity from places outside PulseX. But for instance, if you're trading stables or wrapped ETH for PulseX Hex, it's basically the same, except for infrastructure risk. And I do agree with him. I've actually compared trading cores from stable coins with Piteous versus PulseX. Actually, sometimes I get better prices on PulseX, believe it or not.
Yes.
So if you're doing the core coins, if you're doing anything in the core ecosystem, I generally use PulseX. But the problem is people are building outside of PulseX, right? They put the liquidity on 9-inch or 9mm, other things, right? And so this is a really helpful way. And so he says you actually have to check what you receive as well because some estimates aren't as good as others. Thus, it's nice to have an aggregator for weird coins, but sucks a bit that it starves PulseX of buy and burn. Attached are some tests showing roots. So I think this is as good of a shout out as you're ever going to get from Richard Hart, and I'll give a shout out to Piteous. I really like using them. I think they do a lot of great things. Now, I have a question for you, Will.
Yes.
What features would you like to see Piteous add? People in the chat, feel free to put in the comments. What features would you like to see Piteous add for the Pulse Chain community?
number one is limit orders.
Yeah!
Like, I don't know
Number one!
why. I don't know why. Like freaking nobody has limit orders on. I think maybe 9mm has them, and you can sort of do it on 9mm V3 by making a sell wall or a buy wall. So that's
Yeah,
kind of a limit order, but
it's
like
not easy.
it's not really, because you have to actively pull the liquidity after it like strikes through your price. So like it's not really a limit order. It's like a half-ass limit order. But like I don't really know why no one has done it yet. I don't
Well,
really know how it works, but I know that there's a bunch of them over on Ethereum,
yeah,
and yeah, that's
yeah.
my thoughts. Like, so if Pateas could put in limit orders, like boy howdy, that would be nifty, because then you could set it and forget it, go to sleep, rest easy, and and just like life would be hunky dory. Now, I know that there's probably something that has to do with like oracles or like how long it lasts for, or it's basically just like a gas transaction sitting in like limbo or something. So I'm sure that it's a lot more complicated than I really think it is. But if they could figure it out, man, then like they would just be fucking cat's pajamas. So
I agree. I think that's almost everybody's number one request would be limit orders. If you were to ask me when Pulse Chain launched, how quickly we will see limit orders, I would have said within 6 months, and it's been 2 years and we don't have
yeah,
limit orders. So I actually think that that's a negative for the ecosystem. And
really.
I'm not a builder, but I think that if we had limit orders, that would be awesome for people.
Oh, okay. I thought you were implying that if limit, like because they're not there because no one's done it, then everyone has come to the conclusion that they're negative. But you're talking about like
Not
we're
having
missing a
limit
tool
orders is
and we
negative.
need that tool.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Exactly.
I'm on the same page, man. I think that there should be more ways for people to buy and for people to sell and for people to transact. Like, why are we stuck like sitting here at 1 a.m, like, come on, price. Yes, I got my thing. Fuck it. Bam, strike it, you know.
I know, seriously, we have to put notifications if price goes below or above, and
Yeah.
then get onto our computer and hope we catch the price before it bounces or vice versa. So limit orders would be huge. And I think something else that would be cool would be allowing transactions to be hidden.
Ooh,
Right.
ZKZX
So like,
kind of stuff, or zero knowledge.
yeah. So like, you make a swap, but it doesn't show. Like there are ways to do it. I'm not a builder, obviously, or writing code, but actually, if you go to CZ, he actually brought this up earlier today, and I agreed with him. He's like, I've always been puzzled with the fact that everyone can see your orders in real time on a DEX. The problem is worse on a perpetual DEX with our liquidation. So I wonder if there's a way that you can do it, like build in an automatic router or build in an automatic Tornado Cash style thing that when you make the transaction, it just like switches up so you can't see. But I'd love, we want more anonymity, right? We want more to be more anonymous. That's what decentralized finance is all about. So if we could find a way to have more anonymous transactions, I think that would be fantastic as well.
Yeah, I agree. Some sort of zero knowledge, zero proof, or Railgun Tornado Cash esque. Oh, whoa, there we go. I wasn't ready for that. There we go.
Sorry.
Switching it. Nah, you're good. I think that some sort of anonymity thing would be freaking fantastic. Like, I don't know why. Actually, no, I take that back. I have a speculation why it hasn't happened yet, and I think that it's because of all the stuff that's all the litigation and all the OPAC censoring of everything having to do with Tornado Cash on Ethereum, and like the jailing of Anton and not Pavel Durov, the Roman Storm, whoever the Tornado Cash guys are that invented it, that got like jailed up. That might be why no one's included like that sort of stuff directly into the thing. So that makes sense a little bit, but like I would love to see.
But now
more
it's legal.
stuff.
But now Tornado Cash is legal, so let's get on it.
Yep, it's been removed from the sanction list.
Yeah. I might actually tweet at them saying, hey, oh, by the way, I will also add, someone on one of their posts said when limit orders, and they put a hourglass emoji as a response, which makes it sound like they're working on it. I don't know. Is the hourglass 2 weeks or 2 years? But
just 2 more weeks,
2 more
man.
weeks.
Just 2 more weeks. That meme's never going away. Just 2 more weeks. All the people that are joining Pulse Chain in the near future, they're just gonna be like,
what are they talking about?
yeah, they're
What is
just
this
gonna,
2 more weeks thing?
yeah, just 2 more weeks, man. That's gonna be a meme forever. So shout out to everyone that's just 2 weeks away from
All the
adding zero
OGs.
knowledge. Yeah, I will say that there is ZK. There is like Tornado Cash on Pulse Chain is called ZKZX, zero knowledge, zero expectations. They do have a token. I used it when it first came out, allegedly, or I was learning how to use it allegedly, because I remember that was not necessarily legal or the same or something like that. I don't really know. I was doing it for educational purposes. We'll say that. I was learning how to use a cool protocol that came out, and it's pretty nifty. So there are ways that people can get. You basically have to do it with Pulse, though. You can only do it with Pulse. You have to swap your tokens into Pulse and then send the Pulse into the protocol. And then the protocol like gives you the thing that allows you to send it to a brand new wallet whenever you get there. And I don't really know how it happens, but because everyone's sending in the same size chunks, then like that's how you're able to anonymize. It's just super simple transactions. And there is Railgun on Ethereum, which I don't know how it works, but that'd be really cool if more privacy stuff came into Pulse Chain and came into Ethereum. And it'd be great if Bitcoin had more privacy, but it's like there's not a whole lot of innovation that's going on on Bitcoin and stuff. So we're going to do a quick little shout out. We've been joined by 2 other people. We've been joined by Tam Tam, who says, hello, my lovelies. Hello to you too, Tam Tam. Good to see you. #1 Pulse Chain, Hexaco cheerleader, cryptocurrency cheerleader in general in the space. So glad that we could have you with us tonight. And we've also been joined by Mr. Johnny Chaos. Whiteboard Will, are you inspired? LOL. I am inspired, good sir. I'm not sure what Whiteboard Will means. This may be some sort of inside joke that I'm not aware of, but I am inspired. I'm always inspired, always trying to do things. And I don't really have a whiteboard. I do have a chat shout out piece of paper though, with some excellent technical analysis. By the way, for those of you guys that don't have any TA, here's your TA for the day. Basically, the money's going to go up as the time moves forward, and that's all that you need to know about every single asset that exists ever, even the ones that go to zero. So that's what we've got going on. So shout out to Mr. Johnny Chaos, and shout out to Miss Tam Tam for joining us tonight. Oh, he's talking about the whiteboard in the thumbnail. The whiteboard in the thumbnail is actually just a piece of paper that I wrote chat shoutouts on long ago while we were early on in the stream, and then I laminated it one day. And so it does look like a whiteboard, but it's actually just a piece of paper, very terribly laminated. So that's what you guys get for chat shoutouts. So good to see you, Mr. Johnny Chaos. Glad that you could join us tonight. The secret to avoid dying in the crypto space, I told the folks earlier in the beginning of the show, but I'll tell it for all of you who have joined us since then. The secret to not dying in the crypto space is to make friends. It's to have chat shoutouts. If you're a streamer, interact with your audience. If you're an audience, interact with the streamers. And that's how you stop dying, is you make friends and you go and see people and you have fun. And you do enjoy the green candles and you do cry during the red candles, but like having people that are there to hang out with you and to help you get through the tough times and to go talk and to go to conferences and to go hang out and party in Miami, for instance, maybe like those are the reasons, those are the things that stop you from dying in the crypto space. So none of that. And we're going to go ahead and do a hard transition on into the next topic. Mr. Brendan, I see you've got a share screen up. Are you ready to rickety rock and roll?
Yes.
All right,
this
sweet.
Is cool shit.
So, for the folks at home, check this shit out. Take it away.
This
Brendan.
is fantastic. So, I've been saying this for a couple months, and I said it on Wednesday, and I said it last week on the Sunday show when we talked about the strategic ETH reserve website that was put out. Shout out to fabda.eth. And I said at some point, a publicly traded company or an entity is going to take Michael Saylor's strategy of leveraging their stock and their money from stock sales into buying Bitcoin, but they're going to do it with Ethereum instead. And lo and behold, not too much later, we got an announcement from SharpLink Gaming that they plan to purchase $1 billion of Ethereum. So this is Sharplink Gaming is a U.S. sports and betting platform, and they filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission to offer up to 1 billion in shares of common stock in an effort to increase the holdings of its newly launched Ether treasury. And then a quote from Sharplink, they said, "We intend to use substantially all of the proceeds from this offering to acquire Ether, the native cryptocurrency of the Ethereum blockchain, commonly referred to as ETH." What do you think about that, bro? Just
this is some
before I continue on the article.
This is some good fucking news, man. Like, I think that there's going to be some cool shit happening with Ethereum. And it's not just because I want green candles. It's because, like, it's the place where innovation goes. And so I don't know why it's taken so long to get to this point. But, like, this is fucking fantastic, man. If people start doing the same thing with Ethereum that Sailor is doing with Bitcoin, then, like, it helps Ethereum. And it'd be, I know that I was just complaining earlier about, like, financial institutions taking over Bitcoin, and that sort of thing. But, like, I am interested to see similar stuff happen to Ethereum, because as much as I gripe about what it's done to Bitcoin, Michael Saylor has been just like the world's best marketer for Bitcoin. And, like, I just don't think you can beat, like, yeah, I'm just going to keep buying the tops. I'm going to keep buying the tops forever. You can't stop me. I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me buying the top of Bitcoin and just going fucking ham with it. So the fact that somebody's going to start doing this with Ethereum, I think that's freaking crazy. And, you know, Trump just threw a shit ton of money in Ethereum. There was the World Liberty Finance, right? Like, they've put a shit ton of money. I think it's World Liberty Finance. I could be wrong, but I know that the
World
Trump
Liberty
meme coin,
Finance. You're correct.
yeah, the Trump meme coin, they dumped all their Solana so they could buy Ethereum after selling, like, the Trump coin. So it's like, that's some of the stuff that's going on, is like people are starting to, not people, like, everyone's always known that Ethereum is where the innovation's at. Ethereum's where the new stuff that's like go fast, break things, and do cool stuff. Like, it's all happening on Ethereum. It's not really happening on Solana. It's not happening on Sui. It's not it might be happening a little bit on Phantom, but they're just not as, like, they're just not as large and scaled out as Ethereum is. So, like, I think this is great, bro. I think it's pretty cool. I hope it doesn't mean the top of the S curve for Ethereum, because that would be very sad.
I mean, I have a hard time thinking that it would be a top signal, because I think more and more people are going to want to try to acquire Ether. And think about this: $1 billion of new fresh capital going in to buy ETH. That's huge. That's huge. No, there's, outside of Bitcoin, there's not another coin where someone is using this as a strategic reserve. And at the current price of about 2,500, that would be 400,000 ETH that they would have purchased.
Yeah.
Now, if I go over here, can you see that?
Yep.
So if I go here, look at how much Ethereum Foundation has, 263,000. So what they're saying is they're going to be the largest holder of Ethereum out of anyone on the planet. Well, publicly known entity on the planet. Let's put it that way. So we talk about the Ethereum Foundation selling a lot of times. Well, what if they buy and they don't plan to sell for a long time, just like Sailor? That is very positive news for Ethereum, in my opinion. So, I mean, this is just huge. And I think it's going to really, especially if it goes well, which I think that it will go very well for them. And their stock did jump like 400% on the news. Now the stock has come back down. You can see it here after the announcement. Sharplink Gaming surged 400%, and this was on May 27th. So this was this week. So, Will, did they listen to our show last Sunday?
I'm pretty sure they were.
And I was saying someone will do this sooner rather than later, and then boom, this week. Now, for the record, I've been saying this for longer than a week. I've been saying this for months, that someone's going to take the strategy of Michael Saylor and do it with Ethereum. I haven't heard other people talking about that. So I think that we were kind of the first one to bring that out as a possibility. And now it's actually coming to fruition. So that's pretty incredible.
Comes out later that that Will and Brendan are actually on the board of directors over there at Sharplink. So there you guys go. You heard it here first.
Yep. And the other good news that we heard this week, and I don't have something to pull up. I can stop sharing this now, right?
Okay. Yeah.
The other good thing is that the SEC said that staking coins and getting a return is not a security.
Mm-hmm.
So that's huge, which means that all of these people that have filed for ETH staking with the SEC, they had pushed those out. They delayed their answer on that. My guess is next time they come around to vote on that, there's a good chance that they say yes, because they've already come out and laid the groundwork for that by saying staking is not a security, which is a huge win for crypto. Absolutely huge win. And also, by the way, it's huge for Ethereum, right? Because Ethereum is much more of an opportunity to stake because it's proof of stake, not proof of work. And these two things coming together. Now, I've been bullish on ETH, even with the price being down, so to speak, compared to what we expected it to be at. But nonetheless, if you look at ETH when it launched, it's like 580,000% or something like that, like just insane amount of gains. And I think ETH is going to do really well this cycle, and we're starting to see those chips fall into place. We're starting to see those dominoes fall. We're starting to see Ethereum pick up some momentum. So shout out to my boys at I guess I wouldn't say my boys, but shout out to Sharplink Gaming for being the first one to jump deep into the ETH pool. So interesting that they're going to own more ETH than the Ethereum Foundation, huh?
Yes. Something that I wanted to say in comparison to this is, like, with the Ethereum Foundation and the reserve and everything, Michael Saylor's taken an opposite approach. He said that on-chain proof of reserves is a bad idea and will not do it for all of the MicroStrategy Bitcoin holdings. So, like, like all of the holdings being on third-party centralized, I think that MicroStrategy's, I want to say that Coinbase is their I can't remember off the top of my head, but I want to say that it's Coinbase that custodies. Oh no, Coinbase custodies all the ETF stuff. I don't know who custodies Michael Saylor's their on-chain whatnot, but like he was basically doing the exact opposite of what the ETH strategic reserve guys are doing. And I don't know if that's similar to what Sharplink is doing, but like, man, it's a good time to be alive, bro. It's looking pretty cool out there.
Yeah, and it's I think it's just super bullish for ETH. And as we know, Ethereum and Pulse Chain are intimately tied. I think honestly, the Pulse Chain community has been some of the most bullish on Ethereum, even outside of ETH maxis. Like we've been pushing ETH a lot. One, because we actually like the protocol. That's where Hex was originally built, and we have EHEX. So we still have some skin in the game on the Ethereum side when it comes to Hex. But also, it's just we know how much ETH is owned by the SAC wallet. We know how ETH's price and Pulse Chain's price are going to be intricately connected as they move up. So the better ETH does, I think the better Pulse Chain and Hex and the Richard Heart ecosystem is going to do. So this is just like huge. So I kind of want to get your thoughts. And what else do you think about this? And do you see it going to cause big price increase for Ethereum, or do you think that's two questions? Is it going to create a price increase? And two, is it going to create more interest from other entities, companies, governments, etc.? Are they going to now maybe be more interested, especially if this ETH plan goes well for this company?
I think that's a pretty easy yes to both of those questions, because like if you've got a company that's buying $1 billion of Ethereum, and it's like I think that was the number, right? A billion.
$1 billion,
yeah, $1 billion worth of Ethereum, like that's a lot of fucking ETH. So like I don't know how much ETH is available across all the centralized exchanges, across all the OTC carriers, across all of everyone. But if someone's buying $1 billion, like that's not an insignificant amount. That's if crypto right now is 3 trillion, that's one 1/3 of 1% of the entire like crypto supply. So that's like a significant amount of dineros that are going onto one side of a liquidity pool, and a lot of ETH that's coming out of the other. So like if they're buying it open market, awesome, pumping the bags for real. They're buying it OTC, still good. I would prefer open market, but like people got to get the best prices they can get. And I also do think, like to your second question, I'm positive that it will help increase the FOMO of other companies. Like I don't know much about SharpLink or what their history is, but if they start becoming successful, similar to what Michael Saylor's doing, then like this whole notion of having the strategic reserves, excuse me, of both Bitcoin and Ethereum is going to start like skyrocketing. And then who's to say how long it is until the next things start going on, like a strategic reserve of Binance, of BNB, a strategic reserve of Hex, a strategic reserve of, who gives a fuck coin, right? Like everything will start like a strategic Pepe reserve. I don't fucking know, man. Like there's all sorts of,
Dogecoin reserve.
yeah, exactly. It's like there could be reserves of everything. And like we've already got strategic hex reserves. We've already got the origin address, the hex OA. Like it all kind of just ties in together. Now, or Godwhale rather would be a better example, because Godwhale buys off the open market a lot of the time. So now we can't necessarily count on Michael Saylor to keep buying. We can't count on SharpLink to keep buying. We can't count on the Godwhale to keep buying hex. It is like the past actions are the best indicators of future actions being taken, like from an inference standpoint, but it's not a guarantee. So it's like it'd be really cool to see him start doing this, and it'd be really cool to just kind of light the fire underneath other people, and they start getting scared, and they start getting FOMO, and they start buying, and then this throws us into a brand new altcoin season. So that's my
Light
thoughts.
the beacons.
Light the beacons. The Gondor calls for aid, and Rohan
Yes.
will answer. So
You call exactly.
yes.
So I don't know how much you asked a good question, and we could probably pull up the information, but I don't have it in front of me, about how much Ethereum is actually available on the open market currently.
Yeah.
I know that the current circulating supply is 120 million of Ether. So 400,000. I'm just curious what the percentage of that would be. What's the
Total circulating supply 120 million. ETH reserve, all exchanges. Oh, look at that, crypto quant. Okay.
you got it?
I think I'm pulling up something. Exchange reserve. Oh man, this is a lot of numbers and no quick answers. I was hoping that AI would just spit me out a nice easy number thing.
We can pull that and put it in the chat.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
we'll probably have to do that. Probably have to do that later. But it's like, I would imagine that it's probably 2 or 3% of the total supply. Like that's generally the number. So if there are 120 million Ethereum, we'll say 2%. So 120 million, that's 240,000 Ethereum on the open market, right? Am I getting my math right on that? 2% of 120 million is no,
it's going to be less than that. It's going to be like around 0.4%.
maybe 2 million. 2 million Ethereum on all the exchanges, right? Because 2% of 120. We'll just say it's 2 million, 3 million. So there's 2 million or 3 million Ethereum that are available. And so if Homie has $1 billion and Ethereum is currently, what is it? We'll just say Ethereum's $2,500, even though I know it's not that, but just for the sake of argument, $2,500. That means that $4 million or $4 billion. So if you got 2 million times 2,000 is 2.5 billion. So they would be buying half of the existing supply of Ethereum off of all of the exchanges. So what happens when you consume half of all the available token is, I'm pretty sure that the price doubles. I want to say something like that. So, like if they're buying it over the counter, different story. But if they're buying it from all of the open exchanges at whatever the price is today, then the price probably doubles or something like that, because they're consuming half of the total supply. So just my little peanut brain diamond hand math. If anybody knows liquidity better than I do, then please correct me in the comments. But I'm pretty sure that if you buy up half of the supply of a token, then the price doubles. So
That would be pretty nice, huh? Let's go
that
to
would be pretty fucking nice. We'd go from
500.
2,500 ETH to 5K ETH. And hey, there we are, right back up at the top again, because just like this one group of people. Now, obviously, there's going
Now,
to
that's
be
not taking
buying
into account
and
sell
selling.
pressure or anything like
Sure.
that.
Yeah. But, we might be able to figure that out on pampy.org, but I don't know if they do Ethereum. I think they just do Pulse Chain. But hey, I happen to know that there's a certain huge amount of Ethereum that's just kind of sitting around and not doing a whole lot. And it happens to be in what I would consider my field of the court, over here in the Pulse Chain zone. So like there's a whole bunch of Ethereum that might be tied to liquidity to Pulse Chain that if they want to get those Ethereums out for them to buy in their strategic reserve, then hey, they have to route through Pulse Chain and get the Pulse Chain Ethereums on out of there and suck them away if they're like liquidity paired with things in the origin address. Who the fuck knows? I don't know what the plan is with that. I'm just kind of talking out my ass here, but like there's a whole bunch of Ethereum in one very specific location, and it's quite similar in price to the amount of Ethereum that this one company wants to buy. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty awesome, and it definitely gives me hopes and thoughts on the future. So I want to turn your question back on you, Mr. Brendan. You asked me, what do you think? It will do about like igniting FOMO under other companies, and what do you think about the price action for this Sharp Link fellas doing this big buy?
Well, look, I'll answer this first by saying, look what Michael Saylor has done for Bitcoin, right? He's been the de facto like number one cheerleader for Bitcoin, and it really has pushed a lot of people into purchasing governments and entities, corporations, institutions, you name it. And so if we could get somebody like that, because I'm sorry, Vitalik has not been a good cheerleader for Ethereum recently, nor has the ETH Foundation. So it'd be great if we had someone that would sort of take that torch, pass that torch. So if these guys are like going to be that uber bullish and out in front of everybody, like Michael Saylor, then I think that is huge opportunity from a advertisement standpoint. And usually someone wants to take the risk first, and then others follow after, right? And so they'll get the benefit of being the first mover. And then usually people follow that first mover. So I think we'll start to see more companies. And look, we already have showed the Strategic ETH Reserve website multiple times, and there's almost 1 million ETH that are in reserves currently, including what the Ethereum Foundation has. And, with SharpLink Gaming, they're going to bring that almost to 1.5 million ETH in strategic reserves. So yes, I think we're going to start to see some countries move in that direction as well. And Ether is great for building, right? So if you want something that just isn't there to hold and store value like Bitcoin, Ethereum is very interesting because what can governments and entities do? They can actually build on the Ethereum blockchain. So it would make sense to me for governments to own Ethereum and then leverage that to build things that are useful for their countries, for their government moving forward. So I think there's huge opportunity to see more people get involved. And it's always, people don't want to be the first because of the risk, right? So now that someone's jumped into the deep end or going to be jumping into the deep end, we're gonna see a lot of buy pressure, which means price go up, and we like that. The other thing is, and we didn't really mention it, but I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? FTX repaid $5 billion.
I think so.
To people that lost, and that was in fiat. Like they had the money. So how much? What percentage of that goes into the crypto market? It's a good question. I don't know. I'm sure some of those people are going to be forever scarred about investing in crypto, but my guess is a lot of those people are also still in crypto in other areas. So I could see a good chunk of that money coming back into the ecosystem. And for those of you who are getting FTX refunds, I suggest buying Pulse Chain, or happy if you buy Ethereum as well. Not financial advice.
So I want to take a quick moment and talk about what is SharpLink Gaming.
Yeah.
I don't know if you covered that in the very beginning, but it's actually a marketing it's a marketing company that markets online gambling essentially. So it's like it's right up here in the alley of I'll go ahead. Let me bring up
Degenerates.
yeah, let me bring up a share screen real quick and show the folks at home who are these guys that are going to be allegedly purchasing a shit ton of Ethereum if all goes as they say is going. So let's take a quick look. Can you guys see this that I got pulled up over here? Excellent. I see that it is all
Got it.
rocking and rolling.
See
So
it.
here is SharpLink Gaming. So proven fan activation solutions, trusted marketing partner to leading sports books and online casino gambling operators worldwide. So basically, it's affiliate marketing. They get results. So it's like I don't know exactly what it does, but I'm pretty sure that it gives people the opportunity to make money by more or less promoting poker and gambling and other such things online. So like, look, we got FanDuel
They're
things
just
over
trying to
there.
drive more traffic to gambling sites.
Yes. So it's like these guys do marketing, which what is it that we need in the cryptosphere? We
And
need
they're publicly
fucking
traded.
marketing. Yes. So and they've existed since 2008. I don't know if it says so here on the on this page somewhere. Let me scroll around and look, but they've been rocking and rolling, launched in 2008. So they've been doing this for over 10 years. So like they haven't shit the bed yet. They're still rocking and rolling. So these are the guys that are going to be theoretically, buying $1 billion of Ethereum. So we'll see what they do. I'm going to go ahead and pull down this share screen there,
Well,
but there's just
their stock was like on May 21st. Their stock was $2.79,
you want to pull up their charts?
and now it's $76.
Oh my god, dude. How long? So they've been publicly traded since so that's a fucking it's like almost a 40x. That's like a 30x, bro.
Massive.
You say from $2 to $70. 35x in you said May
Yeah.
1st?
May 21st.
May 21st. So 2 weeks ago. Or not even 2 weeks ago. My god, man. Hang on.
Yeah.
You got a share screen you can pull up with this freaking SharpLink chart?
Yeah, I can share. I'm just
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
yeah, I knew it went up a lot. I was just kind of I just Googled it. So
Bunch of degens, man. That's crazy. All right, I'm
so
gonna stop
on a NASDAQ, they're SBET. That is their ticker.
Wow.
And look at this. 279 on May 21st.
Dude.
And now they're at 76.70.
Holy moly. So they're like, we've got a fuck ton of value. We need to do something with it, probably. I mean, I don't know how exactly stonks work.
On May 27th is when they made their announcement, I believe. So people knew, like, look at how much this jumped. People knew that this was happening, right?
Oh yeah.
And so the price is already moving rapidly up, but after their announcement, it more than doubled again. So that's pretty crazy to me. So let's look at this max. Holy shit. I think something wrong with this here, but yeah, so they were down and to the right. This chart looks awful.
Dude, affiliate marketing is a great way to make a bunch of money. Like that's phenomenal. Anyone
they've
who's
been going down. So look, they've been going down to the right, and they're trying to find a way to, hey, how do we do something else? To help our stock and help our profile. And man, this was a really brilliant marketing strategy, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy.
I've got a chat GPT summary of SharpLink. It basically just says they're an online marketing company that helps sportsbooks and online casinos acquire and retain players through affiliate marketing and direct-to-player strategies. They're known for their performance-driven approach and are now venturing into the cryptocurrency space with their Ethereum treasury strategy. So this is interesting. This is very interesting. I wonder also if this might be a, like the last like breath of fire from a dying dragon. Like, oh, we're gonna go out with one last boom and and cash out on these stonks by making this crazy announcement. So like my inner cynic is flaring up a little bit, but I think that it's like if they do the things that they say they're gonna do, that could be pretty fucking cool. So to
I
be
think,
determined.
yes. Look, you always have to, take someone's statement and decide for yourself if you believe it or not. But they said that anytime that their stock is worth more than like Ethereum, they're going to keep doing what Michael Saylor did. So this is the first $1 billion. That doesn't mean it's the last amount they're putting in either. So like that is also what's pretty crazy to me. If they follow through with what they say and they continue to acquire Ether, wow, that's going to be huge buy pressure. And again, I think it's going to get other people really looking into this. So positive for Ethereum, ultra positive for Pulse Chain as well.
And you can't put that idea genie back in the bottle, man. Once he's out, that's Pandora's box, bro. Like it's only a matter of time before other companies start doing what Saylor's doing. And it's only a matter of time until, it starts happening on Ethereum. And all it takes is just a successful run. Then everyone gets the FOMO. So.
And look, Martin Shkreli, he's been in and around crypto for a long time. We know him. And it's positive. This is super positive. Like, you said something earlier that I think bears repeating. If Michael Saylor is the biggest marketing person for Bitcoin, well, now we have a marketing company that is literally going to be marketing Ether, right? Yep. So that's like invaluable just in itself. Like, again, we don't have a great spokesperson for Ethereum at the moment, in my opinion. Vitalik, man, I don't know what he's doing sometimes. ETH Foundation, not always positive. There's a lot of sell pressure there. So if these guys are the opposite, buy pressure and positive marketing for Ethereum for the world, other institutions, other companies, institutions, and governments, man, perfect trifecta.
Hell yeah, bro. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. I'm stoked. I'm pretty satisfied with this article. You ready to put it to bed?
All good, brother. I thought the community would like that one.
I like that. I like that a lot. I've also heard a rumor that Florida is introducing they're introducing and I didn't look into this at all, but I heard that they're introducing no capital gains tax on Bitcoin. I know that Missouri has passed it already, but I heard rumor that Florida is doing that. Have you heard anything about this in your little neck of the woods?
I have heard some rumblings on certain tokens being exempt from capital gains tax in Florida, but I don't know what that's going to look like yet. I don't know if it's going to happen or if they're going to move forward with it or not.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that was earlier on in this week. That was before our Whiskey Wednesday show. Another thing that's interesting, and this is another thing that Sami touched on, is there's been just a bunch of stablecoin freezing. Tether freeze like 91 addresses, and then Circle freeze like almost $60 million that was associated with the Libra team. So like, those guys down in Argentina that Javier Malay's Twitter account was talking about with like Libra coin. It's like there's been a lot of freezing going on in the stablecoin world lately. So just like remember this, guys. The cryptocurrency, it is pretty cool, but not everything is perfect. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening, a lot of not so cool things. But I think that there's some bright horizons as long as we don't make too many movements. The more things you're clicking on, the more likely you can fuck things up. So just be very careful. Learn all your stuff. If you're brand new to the crypto space, welcome. Like, I'm glad that we could have you here with us on the DGen Roundtable. But yeah, I think that about does it as far as stuff that I can think of. You ready to rock and roll and head on over to close? Oh shoot, I just saw the private chats. You are ready. Let's go ahead and move to close then. So, Mr. Brendan, what are you doing in the near future, and where can the folks find you?
Well, I want to ask a question before I say that. Do we have any more chat shout-outs?
Oh man, I'm glad you said that. Yes, we do have some chat shout-outs. Good fucking point. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the thing that makes us not die in cryptocurrency. It's time for chat motherfucking shout-outs. So, we are joined by Mr. Large, who says, "You said large." Yes, we did. We said large. Somebody did at some point, I assure you.
And in charge.
Yep, large and in charge, my man. He is here with us today. We're also joined by Mr. K. Hudson, letting us know that he is not dead yet. And that's good because he's been doing plenty of chats. And so you're in all of the chat shout outs with us here. So good to see you, Mr. K. Hudson. Glad that we can have you with us as well. And then also Mr. Nate the Great. But did you die? Yeah, exactly. If you guys are chatting with us, then you're not dead. Unless you figured out a way to get AI to do it for you, in which case, like, that's pretty damn cool, bro. So glad that we could have you all with us tonight.
Well,
Mr.
you could have died and been resuscitated.
Could have. They could have possibly done that. So maybe the chat shoutouts brought him back to life. They were like, I gotta get this one last shout out in. So there we go. You said you had a question earlier, Mr. Brendan, before we hop, skip, and jump on out of here. What's your question, bro?
No, that was my question. If there are
that was the question. Oh, excellent. Well, yes, thank you all for joining us tonight, all of you guys in the chats. Whether you're watching us live or on the replay, we appreciate each and every single one of you. So I do have our little chat shout out, our little chat show comments on stage. It's currently covering up our QR code, but I'm going to go ahead and remove the chats, and I'm going to let you guys know that down there on the bottom camera right of the screen, there is a little QR code right down there by Brandon's camera right shoulder. And you can see it says DRT join now. If you guys want to be a member of the DGen Roundtable community, then what you need to do is you need to go to t.me/DRT join now and click on that little join button, and then you will be brought on over into the DGen Roundtable Telegram. So I am finding our little linkity link that I need to copy and paste on into the chat so you guys can join us on over there. But yeah, that's the basic way to do it. You can scan that little QR code with your camera. You can click on this link that I'm bringing up live on stream right now. So you guys saw it in the chat 7 seconds before I started talking about it. But again, it's t.me/DRT join now. That's how you guys get into our little house, and you can chit chat with us, share memes, do all sorts of cool things. Lots of awesome stuff going on in there. So that's what I've got for that. A reminder, as you guys can see down on the scrolling Chiron at the bottom of the page, we stream from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Wednesdays we talk to people. Fridays we do book club, and then Sundays we cover the cryptocurrency news. We had a pretty light news week this week, and Sami's been doing a fantastic job, and so are all the other Pulse Chain content creators covering all the news. So we're just here to reinforce what they're saying and maybe open your eyes to some cool new stuff like this Sharplink guy's doing the cool thing. So thank you, Mr. Brendan, for joining me. Thank you all the folks at home for joining us. And Brendan Broski, what have you got going on in the near future, and where can the folks find you?
You can find me at anonymous_bean on X. I am Bean, and I don't really have too much going on. Going through moving out of state in a few months, so trying to get the house here sold and a few other things. So lots going on. Other than that, I'll just also note that the other bullish news that I liked, that Richard Hart posted his workout routine, and he challenged everyone else to. And he said he's going to be posting his results every day for 30 days. I think that he's working hard, and I like to see that. So healthy Richard Hart, mind, body, very good for Pulse Chain, very good for crypto in general, because let's be honest, he's done so much for crypto and he doesn't get the credit for it. But he's done so much for just crypto in general. I mean, just beating the SEC and spending tens of millions of dollars to do so, of his own money, by the way, to create precedent for the crypto industry is unbelievable. So shout out to Richard Hart. Man, he's been a firestorm of tweets, but all really cool, bullish stuff. And I love it. That's all I got, buddy. Thanks for chopping it up with me.
Yeah, bro, absolutely. And I will double tap that, like Richard posting his workout stuff, I think is super awesome. And I think it goes back to the core of what he's been talking about this whole fucking time. So super glad that he started posting about that. And I heavily encourage everyone to go and engage in that little thing, because he challenged all the people at home to post their workout stuff as well. So he's got his own little routine that he does. I might go in there and post some of the things that I do. We'll see. But highly recommend you guys all go do that and check out Richard Hart on Twitter. So for those of you guys that want to know what I'm doing in the near future, I am going to be heading on over to Shreveport, Louisiana. I've got a little tower job over there. We're putting on a 2-bay FM radio antenna. So anyone who's over in the Shreveport, Louisiana area, I might swing by and say hello. Or if you're in between the Dallas and Shreveport area, then I'll come say hi. Mr. Josh, if you're still watching, Mr. Slide 180, I'm going to come see you tomorrow, good sir. and we're going to have a good time. Again, I'll be leaving the Dallas area after me and Alan have a late lunch. So however long it takes me to get you from there, that's when I'll be showing up, and we'll have a good time. Drink some beers, maybe eat some pizza. Who the fuck knows? Other than that, you guys can find all of my socials at will.pls.fyi. That links to my Twitter, it links to my my Instagram, links to my Facebook, links to the Telegram, links to this DGen Roundtable YouTube channel, things of that nature. So if y'all want to hang out and see more of me or see more of Brendan, then you guys can find us at those links respectively. And reminder that we stream here live every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. So there you guys go. Or at least we start at 8 p.m. Eastern. So there you guys go. And with that, it's time to go ahead and read the end of show copywriting. But before I do that, I need to make sure that I got my finger preloaded so I can click the end of show button when it's time to do that. All right, here we go. I want to thank you all for spending your valuable time with us here on the DGen Roundtable. As Agent J often says, we know that time is your most valuable asset, and we appreciate you spending it right here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Stevenson, but more importantly, you have been watching the DGen Roundtable. Mr. Producer, go ahead and get that trigger finger ready, because it's time to remind all the folks at home to remember to DGen responsibly.
Oops. Oops.
Starting. Here we go.